Hey, what's up everybody? It's Frank again and welcome to my channel 16 bits or higher. Last week I did a first impressions review on the RG43H Pro, and after that I decided to install dArkOS on the device to see if that operating system could probably improve the performance, because this device has a really powerful processor. So I wanted to try out dArkOS and see if I could see an improvement. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I installed dArkOS on the device, and I'm going to share with you how the device performed with the new operating system installed on it. But before I begin, I just want to say that I would like to thank all the people that leave thank you comments in all my videos. Those thank you comments are the ones that really push me to keep on going and motivate me to keep on creating new videos, helpful videos for everybody. So thank you very much for all those comments. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to begin with the installation process of dArkOS. We go to the AIS LPC website, and when we get there, we go to the download section and we scroll down, and where we find the RG43H Pro, we're going to click on download. Now when you get to this website here, it's going to tell you, it's going to give you some instructions that before you download the file that you need, you're going to have to do a bootloader installation. So the first thing we're going to do is download the bootloader. And since we're going to be installing it on the RG43H, we're going to download this one. And that's done. And after you download that file, then you go up and you're going to download the image file for the RG43H Pro. So you're going to click on that, and that's going to take you to the Mega website, and you're going to have to click on save. Depending if you already have a Mega account, you can save it here, but I don't, so I would have to save it here. But I already downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. So you would hit here and it'll download it to your computer. So we're going to skip this part. So the first thing you're going to do is, this is the bootloader. So you're going to unzip the bootloader, and let me use 7-zip. I always like using that. After you unzip the file, you're going to end up with a new folder, and inside that folder you're going to have two SH files plus another folder that's called dArkOS tools. For now, you're going to leave those on your desktop, because what you have to do now is you have to grab the micro SD card that came inserted into the RG43H Pro, the one that has the EROMs partition. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to scroll down and find the folder that's called port scripts. And inside that folder, that's where you're going to be pasting the two files in the folder that you got from the bootloader zip that we downloaded from their website. And after you copy the files, go ahead and eject the card, because we're going to have to put it back into the device so we can run one of those .sh files. Okay, so I put the card back in the device. So now what we got to do is we got to navigate to the ports folder, and we open that up, and we're going to scroll down to the file that's called dArkOS bootloader mod, which is that one. You hit A, and now the screen is going to go blank for a few seconds. And now what we got to do is we got to shut it down. We're going to shut it down, and the next step is going to be to load dArkOS on the new micro SD card and then install it back into the device. So we are back in the computer, and as I already told you that I already installed dArkOS on my device, and as you can see, I have the micro SD card already installed in my computer that's showing that dArkOS is already installed. But what I'm going to do is the process that I take to get the file ready to extract the image and what I use to burn the image onto a micro SD card. So since I had already downloaded it, the file is right here. dArkOS, RG43H, Trixie, and then the image number, which is the date for 2026. So what I do and what I recommend that you do as well is if you haven't done it, and you're gonna have to download the program that's called 7-zip. That's the one that I use for extracting all the time because it gives you the least errors. So I'm gonna use 7-zip to extract the files. So I'm gonna go to that and then I'm gonna say extract to that folder. And now what this is gonna do is actually it created that folder right there and the image file is gonna be within that folder. So this shouldn't take long. And there you go. And if we click on this folder, there is your image file. It is a long one, 12 gigabytes. So the next thing you're gonna do to burn the file onto the micro SD card, and I do have the micro SD card already inserted, so I'm not gonna do that, but you're gonna start Rufus. So at the top, it's gonna show you the micro SD card, and because mine has it already installed, it shows that it has multiple partitions. But if yours was empty, it would just show an empty micro SD card. And then what you got to do is you got to select the file. So you click on that and then you go to the folder that has the image file, which is that one there, and you choose it, and then you would click open. So once you got the image file selected and you have your micro SD card selected, you would click start, and then it'll start the flashing process. Takes about a good 5 minutes for it to fully install, 5 to 10 minutes. And then after it's done, it's gonna come back to this screen, and then all you gotta do is you hit close. So we're gonna assume that it got already installed. I'm gonna hit close and then remove the micro SD card. You gotta eject it from your computer. So let's do that. And you just eject either one of those and it will eject the whole thing. So I'll see you in the device. Okay, we're back on the device, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna remove the EmuELEC card, and I'm going to insert the card where I just flashed dArkOS to. I'm gonna do this just to show you what the process looks like, but the card that where I have the dArkOS already installed is this Samsung card. So after I'm done showing you the installation on this card, we're gonna go to this card to show you games and all the other good stuff. Okay, so let's start it. And there we go. Right now it's expanding the partitions. And for some reason, the installation of the dArkOS on this device doesn't take long. It should be done pretty quickly. And there it goes. It says that it has completed the expansion, and now it's going to reboot and load the dArkOS. And there we go. That was pretty simple. The dArkOS gets installed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it down. Now what you would do right now is you would actually shut down the unit, and then you would pop your card back into your computer, and you would load it with all your games and all that good stuff. The games, themes, BIOS files, and all that good stuff that you're gonna need. So let me just shut it down for now. And let's take this one out. And let's pop this one in. So that's the dArkOS running on my RG43H Pro. And as you can see, these are all the file systems, all the games that I installed. So I got Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, PlayStation. I got ports that are running. And we got the PSP, Nintendo, Nintendo Game Boy, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Nintendo Game Boy Color, and back to the Game Boy Advance. I have been playing with the RG43H Pro with dArkOS installed for a few days already, and I do have to say that I am happy playing with the game because it's a very comfortable game to hold, and I love the display, the colors and brightness on the display. But I do have to admit that the RK3562 is not fully optimized to play all Nintendo 64 games and Sega Saturn games, and also it performed well with PSP games, but some of them did not. But I do believe that the device will improve in time because, like I said, it's just a matter of optimizing the system. Like when I installed the dArkOS, I thought that it was going to run better than EmuELEC. But after installing the dArkOS, I noticed that even the operating system is not fully optimized. There are games that run better on EmuELEC than they do with the dArkOS. So I'm just going to say that it's a matter of optimization. Like when it comes to Nintendo 64, one of my favorite games, which is Conker's Bad Fur Day, it just wouldn't run on dArkOS. With the dArkOS installation, it had a lot of glitches, and there is a standalone emulator that you can use. The only thing is that the standalone emulator did not recognize all the buttons. It didn't recognize any of the presses. So the only way that I was able to play the game was for me to figure out what the button configuration was, and then go into the unit and change all the button configuration on a config file that's in the root partition. So it's not something that's very simple to do, because in order for you to get into the root partition, you have to have a Linux operating system. So it's something that would be very hard to do. When it comes to Sega Saturn games, it was the same thing. They run better on EmuELEC than on dArkOS. Now, I did get other games to run on Sega Saturn, so I guess there's going to be always one or two games that will not run properly. And something that I was really happy about was that I was able to install ports. So I'm going to be playing my Stardew Valley game. All I got to do is just load my save file, and I should be able to continue playing it on this device with the big screen. So after spending more time with the RG43H Pro, I have to admit that I'm a little disappointed. In my previous video, I was very optimistic about this device because I expected it to perform much better with higher end systems like Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and PSP. From my testing, the device actually performs better on EmuELEC than it does on dArkOS. However, I believe a lot of that comes down to software optimization, and it feels like the operating system still needs some work before it can fully take advantage of the hardware. Now, would I still recommend the RG43H Pro? Absolutely. Even though some of the games I mentioned don't run perfectly, there are plenty of others that perform very well. My recommendation also comes from the overall experience of using the device. It's one of the most comfortable handhelds I've used. The screen is bright, sharp, and vibrant, and the ability to connect to an external display adds even more value and versatility. If there are any games you'd like me to test, let me know in the comments below. Just let me know the name of the game and the system it's on, and I'll do my best to try it out and share my results with you. If you're interested in picking up the RG43H Pro from AIS LPC, I'll leave links in the description below. I also want to be completely transparent with you. AIS LPC provided this device to me for free of charge for review purposes. However, I do not receive any commission or any compensation from sales generated through those links. Everything I've shared in this video is based on my personal experience and honest opinion of the device. With that said, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with friends and family who might find it useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.